You might think that being born into a famous European family meant Maria Anna was destined for a life of power. But she wasn't known for her beauty or her clever politics, and she stayed unmarried for a long time. Eventually, she married her cousin, who would one day become a great emperor. Sadly, she passed away and was forgotten by history before he ever took the throne. This is her story. Maria Anna of Bavaria was born in Munich on December 18, 1574. Her father was William V, the Duke of Bavaria. Back then, Germany wasn't one big country. It was split into hundreds of tiny pieces. Some were large, like Bavaria, while others were just small towns with a bit of land. All these small pieces were loosely held together under the Holy Roman Empire. This empire was very old and weak, and its leader was almost always from the Austrian Habsburg family. Maria Anna's mother came from a noble family in France that was famous for fighting hard to keep the Catholic religion in power. This same strict religious feeling was very strong in Bavaria too. Maria Anna grew up in a very religious home. Like other noble girls, she learned how to sew, play music, and act like a proper lady. She also learned to read and write in Latin, which was the language used in church and by smart people across Europe. But things were messy at home. Her father spent so much money on giant church projects and fancy parties that he almost ran out of cash. In 1597, he quit being the duke and went to live quietly in a monastery for the rest of his life. Her brother, Maximilian, became the new boss. Suddenly, Maria Anna became very important because her brother wanted to use her marriage to make a deal with the Austrian Habsburgs. Maximilian was a very smart leader. He wanted to team up with Austria to stop new religions like Lutheranism from spreading. He decided to use his sister to help make this alliance. Maximilian had already been married for a while, but Maria Anna was almost 25 and still single. In those days, princesses usually got married when they were teenagers. People started to gossip about her. They said she wasn't very pretty and that she was too serious and quiet. Because of this, it took a long time for her to find a husband. Finally, a deal was made for her to marry her cousin, Ferdinand, who was an important leader in Austria. Maria Anna and Ferdinand were very close relatives. Marrying cousins was a common thing for their family to keep power, even though it wasn't very healthy. At first, some people in the government didn't like the idea. They were worried Bavaria would have too much power over Austria. But Ferdinand's mother, who was also from Bavaria, pushed for the wedding. She believed that if the two families joined forces, they could rule all of Central Europe and crush their rivals. Maria Anna and Ferdinand had known each other since they were kids. Even though they had the same religious goals, people thought the match was odd. For one thing, Maria Anna was 3 years older than Ferdinand, which was very rare back then. It took 3 years to finish the wedding plans because Ferdinand was busy fighting wars. During the wait, people worried about Maria Anna's health. She looked very pale and tired. Some people even wondered if she was healthy enough to have children. People at the palace were nervous. Could this fragile princess really provide the heirs the family needed? Finally, in the spring of 1600, they were married. She was 25 and he was 21. Even though people had doubted them, the marriage turned out to be very peaceful. Maria Anna didn't try to boss her husband around or get involved in politics. Instead, she focused on her home and her children. She had 7 children in 13 years. Their names were Christine, Charles, John Charles, Ferdinand, Maria Anna, Cecilia, and Leopold. Sadly, the first 2 babies died almost immediately. Her son John Charles died when he was 14. However, the other 4 lived longer lives. Their marriage was stable, but it wasn't a fairy tale full of love letters. They were joined by duty and their shared religious beliefs. Maria Anna lived through a time when the leaders of Europe were changing quickly. When she got married, the emperor was a man named Rudolf II, who was quite strange and didn't care much about ruling. When he died in 1612, his brother Matthias took over. But Matthias didn't have any children. This meant that Maria Anna's husband, Ferdinand, was next in line to be the emperor. By 1612, Maria Anna wasn't just a mother anymore, she was preparing to be the Empress, one of the most powerful women in the world. Even though she was successful as a royal wife, Maria Anna spent a lot of time being sick. No one knows exactly what was wrong with her. It might have been because her family had married relatives for too many generations, which caused health problems, or it might have been from the stress of having so many children. She died in 1616 at the age of 41. She was buried in a special tomb in the city of Graz. Just 2 years after she died, a giant war started in Europe. Her husband eventually became the emperor and married a younger woman, but they had no children. Eventually, Maria Anna's son became the next emperor and helped end the big war.